It's sad. I need to welcome you on this note.
It's not sad.
It's not sad.
No. Oh, you think so?
Who is dead?
Our pitches are dead.
Of course, they deserve to die.
How did we get here? I've been asking myself, how did we get here after all these years?
I believe that it's been systemic. It's been years coming. And I'm quite surprised that it's become such a big topic all of a sudden on all media houses. Because for yourself, for everybody who is interested in a topic as critical as this, we've been discussing this over years. We have 5 major stadia. It got reduced to 1.
Yeah.
So when it gets to 1, then you know that from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you go to 0. It's just like a graph. So we knew that this thing has been coming. And I think CAF has been very charitable with Ghana because of obviously legacy-wise and the kind of traction and mileage we bring to the competition. But it is not embarrassing to me because I knew that playing on the surface, as bad and deplorable as it was more embarrassing than being banned. But of course, it's Ghana.
Interesting opening thoughts there from Saddick Adams, Sports Obama, who is our guest in here today on the game on GHOne TV. Talking about, first of all, the decision or the news from CAF banning, of course, or drawing the approval for the use of the Yara Sports Stadium, which now means we must look for a new venue outside Ghana for our home matches.
Now let me ask, Saddick, though after the Angola game, we all knew that it would get to this, like you're saying, but did you anticipate that within the short while CAF was going to place a ban on it and tell us that we need to go outside to play the October game?
We did not need to even play the Angola game.
Right.
So there was no short space of time. I think that we should have been banned long before the Angola game. This thing to me looks like it was deliberate. And I'm beginning to think that it's been orchestrated by people to get us out of the country so they can benefit in one way or the other. Because, look, the manner in which we have managed the stadium, even if we could not have played the Angola game based on factors such as weather, I would have understood. But we deliberately allowed an event on the field with 17 days to the game. That's why I think it's deliberate. We allowed an event with more than 40,000 people in the stadium, with cars being driven on the pitch, with chairs, broken bottles. One of the players got cut by a broken bottle during training. And these things authorities have tried to hide. It affected the
a player of the Black Stars, or
a player of the Black Stars was cut
whilst training.
Ahead of the Angolan game.
No, before that, there was a game against Central African Republic.
The FIFA World Cup qualifiers.
And so the same activity was there on the field when we allowed a church service
to hold a
to be held on the field, 17 games. And we all knew that even if you are going to be miraculous enough to get the pitch to the standard that you want, 17 days was not enough. But we allowed the event to go on the field. And we were told, I understand it was on your show, that the National Sports Authority, my own big brother, said the journalists who were posting pictures of the stadium were traitors and nations.
They were quoting CAF and FIFA to ban Ghana.
Because CAF, they are not blind. They see, they've banned Niger. They are not blaming journalists. They banned Zimbabwe. They are not blaming journalists. It's only in Ghana that these authorities are so disrespectful that journalists doing their jobs become nation wreckers. But these corrupt people, obviously corrupt, people want to taint journalists. They turn it around
to blame journalists.
To blame journalists.
For portraying what is on the ground.
Ordinarily, when there is a football game in England or anywhere in a proper jurisdiction, it is not for journalists to discuss the nature of the field. We will be discussing the formation, players who are fit. But because of the deliberate parts being played by our authorities, officials, the deliberate attempt to destroy the country with corrupt action. You cannot define this in any manner. That's why we don't need to be charitable. If you are not corrupt enough, and if you are not somebody who wants to disrespect journalists, why would you think that reporting about the poor nature of the field is bad
or evil,
but not doing your job by putting the field in a state,
correct state,
is good? So that's the point I want to draw. He's my brother, the National Sports Authority Director, but that was a very poor statement to make because the pitch is not something in isolation.
Absolutely.
It is not a classified document. It is something that's being captured on camera. So if a journalist sees that the pitch is poor, reports it, and you say that the report is the one that is supposed to attract the eyeballs of CAF to ban us. Now they've banned us. Who was responsible?
Okay.
Is it the journalists who sent the pictures, or Pate, the captain of your national team, who complained it, or Andrea, you? We don't step on the field.
Absolutely.
The players went
them.
there, felt. So for your national football captain to come and complain about the nature of your national football stadium, it's only in Ghana that we have witches camp, but we don't have a national team camp. So there are things that you would never understand. That a country like Ghana, if they ban Chad, Central African Republic, Guinea-Bissau, Niger, you understand the political upheaval and the lack of stability in the country. But for a country that is a founding member of CAF, a country that was on the top pedestal of African football, four-time African champions, to be banned from hosting a football game in the country, not because of war, but because authorities in the country have taken lip service as the highest form of education and profession. Now, we've been banned, and we understand what will be the source of benefits that these officials have deliberately sent us there.
Because like you're saying, the possible benefits.
Yeah.
Now, what it means is that now, whatever budget that ordinarily would have been prepared for the Black Stars game against Sudan in Kumasi, obviously now it will be doubled, or even more. Because now we are going to be going to either a Togo, which will incur a lot more to travel and host them, or Cote d'Ivoire, or even in Morocco. A lot more is going to go in there.
You've been in this, so you know how much it's cost the states, taxpayers, how much it cost us. So this is the most important point.
Okay.
We could have spent $200,000. That will be outrageous or bloated to fix Baba Yara. We could have spent we could have spent $250,000. That's the amount you need to replace the entire field. $250,000. $150 can fit. But because our people are corrupt,
let me say they will need to.
Let me say.
Yes. Let me add 100,000.
Okay.
Now, if we fly them to Morocco, we will need to board flight for like $450,000 to play away game, a game that would have played at home. So Pate and Co will come here. Then we have another charter flight at a cost of around $500,000. Because one Black Stars game away is $1 million. That's average. So the flight and feeding and hotels will cost us around $600,000. But we could have fixed the Baba Yara Stadium with $250,000 permanently. But we are going to play 1, 2, 3 games. So we should be budgeting around $2.5 million for 3 games. If we are going to play 3 away games, you know the World Cup qualifiers are coming. So if FIFA comes, you know they've been lenient to us for a longer period because of the legacy and respect they have for us. So if FIFA says Ghana is playing 3 matches away, then we have to budget $2.5 million, an amount of money that could have built a whole new stadium.
Are you sure that can happen in Ghana? We don't forget we spent over $30 million to build, not from scratch, the GHOne Stadium. Not from scratch, I repeat that, because the facility, something was there already. We spent almost over $30 million.
$34 million.
To build or complete, let me use the word, to complete the GHOne Sports Stadium. And even that today is not fit to host a Category 3 international football game for Ghana. Is it not sad that just under a year, we could spend close to $3 million on just accreditation and its tax for African Games, but could not spend a minute percentage of that amount to fix Baba Yara Sports Stadium? Because you just mentioned that we could have used over $200,000 to fix the pitch alone in Kumasi. We haven't, we could not. But we have used over $3 million on accreditation and its tax for the African Games.
Well, there are other crazy spendings beyond the tax.
I'm just using that because
the feeding of athletes to the tune of $50 million for 18 days. That's supposed to be
alarming.
Beyond alarming. But this is what we've done. A country like ours, we don't have our priorities right. And mostly I blame journalists. We have been part of this. We have been part because there are a section of politicians that we treat with kid gloves.
Right.
Because nowhere in this world
Right.
will we allow the kind of spending that went into African games to happen and everybody goes to sleep. Maybe we have been overloaded by the amount of corruption. So we tackle this today, and tomorrow there is even a bigger scandal than the one that happened yesterday. Because the African game is clearly a big scandal upon us. The multi-purpose sports complexes that we spent over $50 million on the 16 complexes or 10 complexes.
10 regions then.
The 10 regions then. It's still in the bush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody is talking about it. So the politicians will profess and say, we have put in this amount of money. You, the journalists, will go on the grounds and see that there is nothing there. So they fix the road, but you go and the road is not fixed. We come back to sleep. We have been treating them with kid gloves, forgetting that this is the money that could have gone into other profitable and other prioritized ventures of the society. People are not even understanding the context that I want to put this, that we have sat here not having money to fix Baba Yara with $250,000. Now we can fly the players in one day for $500,000.
We'll do it. Obviously, we'll do it.
It is not money from anybody's pocket.
It is from us.
It's from the taxpayer, our money.
If you have a representative in government and you say, use this money to the benefit of the general masses, then they say they don't have money to fix the field for students and national teams to play. But they have money in one day to fly them, pay plane tickets, obviously so they can bloat the ticket prices and get their share. You cannot look into the thinking of these leaders and call them honorable people. I think it's an embarrassment, not for me, not for you, but it's an embarrassment for whoever calls himself a leader. Overlooking, I mean, if you are a sane person, you should not let me come on TV and tell you that what has transpired over the years leading to this embarrassment on the country should be something that should be overlooked.
Now, Saddick, let me ask you, a lot of the time it's like NSA, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the GFA, there seems to be some kind of friction all the time. So now the stadiums belong, people would love to have this understanding. The stadium belongs to the government, like ministry, right? Black Stars as well is for the nation. Why is it that since the GFA is in control of the national team as managing them at the moment, why is it that when there are challenges, they can't voice out? Because almost every time it's like what the ministry wants to say about something they say, what NSA wants to say about something they say, but GFA is always quiet about something.
Well, they say when you go to a house and there is a dog and the dog doesn't bark, it's either the thief knows the dog or they share the booty when they steal.
Absolutely.
Because they send their representative, John Pencil, to Baba Yara Sports Stadium.
That's what I'm saying. They sent John Pencil.
Exactly.
He came back and according
Didn't
to
tell
them,
us the truth.
He said they were satisfied. That's what I'm saying.
Satisfied.
If a thief enters a house and steals and the dog doesn't bark, it's
Then
either the thief is familiar with the dog or they share whatever they steal. Because you, John Pencil, you are a coach. You go into the house and say, you are satisfied with the pitch. The players come to play and they say it is not satisfactory.
The main coach
And you've
says
been a player before.
You are
a player.
But when people say the GFA is quiet, look, according to FIFA this morning on their website, before the Black Princesses played, FIFA said the Ghana FA have received monies from FIFA and have renovated 80 natural grass pitches in the country.
What?
FIFA has, no, it's on the FIFA website. FIFA says the Ghana Football Association has received funding and have transformed 80 natural grass pitches in this country.
Where are those pitches?
Ghana's landmass is
natural grasses.
Yes.
Not AstroTurfs.
So not AstroTurfs. AstroTurfs belong to...
Where are those pitches then?
So where are the natural, the 80 natural...
Your television is national. And the country's landmark is...
Is that Pram?
Yes, 238,000 kilometers square. I don't know where you are watching from. If there is a natural grass field in your community that has been transformed, according to FIFA, they have given money to Monica's GFA to transform fields. And they have reported back to them that they have done. FIFA will only publish that when they are satisfied that the GFA have confirmed to them. GFA has confirmed to FIFA that they have transformed 80 natural grass pitches in this country. And we cannot find a single suitable not international standard, let me use local standard pitch to host one match football nation Ghana. So when you say GFA is quiet, they receive money. They also receive money.
From FIFA, from
the
CAF.
NSA is aware. Look, it is a silent conspiracy theory. Three bodies, ministry, GFA, NSA. 3 emblems of corruption.
I tell you.
And they are fighting amongst each other.
Therefore,
GFA, if they are serious, can fix Baba Yara Stadium and say, we own a right in this. We have fixed the pitch. And GFA has the right
Because you are receiving money. Like,
they put in pitch panels.
Yeah, when
And they market.
Yeah, that's true.
If GFA is in Liberia, some of these things you can check. The Liberia FA has written to FIFA, gotten money to renovate the pitches in the country. These things are not hidden. They are published.
Okay.
If the GFA is serious, the money they've gotten, they could have invested some. It's for government.
Yeah.
But you use it. So your dad gave you a room. You stay in your dad's room. He's traveled or he doesn't have money. You are working. You can't paint your room.
I should be able to paint
This
my
thing
room.
is common sense because now the team is being sent to
A different
another
country.
country.
Another country.
If Niger and Sudan beat you, the pressure is first of all primarily on GFA before it comes to NSA. So these are 3 emblems of corruption, and there's no, fusion amongst them. Everybody is fighting for what?
I am
Tough
telling
war.
you.
It's because of money. If 3 bodies in charge of a field cannot fix it, GFA knows they could have done because they've reported to FIFA that they've
80 pitches.
80 natural grass pitches. It's on FIFA website. Wow. Ministry of Sports knows that they can spend $50 million to feed athletes in 18 days. I don't know whether the multitude that Jesus fed were among the people that they fed $50 million.
Be laughing, but
And
man,
the National Sports
No,
Authority.
because a country called Ghana, now
No,
it's becoming something else.
I think that journalists are somehow and sometimes afraid to say the truth as it is. And if we don't take care, we will descend further than we are going. Because now we don't have a football field in this country.
At all.
If I were the government too, if I were Nanado, I will question the leadership of sports in this country. Summon the
Ministry.
summon the National Sports Authority Director, summon GFA President, and ask them. I have said on several platforms, me Nanado, I have said on several platforms that I have invested in infrastructure than any government in the history of this country.
Especially in sports.
It has come to my time. It has never happened in the history of Ghana that we have been banned from hosting matches in our country. So if I have invested this much and I can tout myself on platforms, why is it that the irony happens during my time? The government that has invested so much in infrastructure is the same government supervising the deplorable state of the pitches, leading to the national team field being withdrawn from hosting matches. So how did this happen? How do we marry the fact that the MPP government and Nanado says they have invested more than any government in the history of Ghana in terms of finances, in terms of infrastructure?
Even with sports, severally, they've invested more.
No, they have said, I'm not saying.
They have said.
They have said, and it's on record, that they said they have invested more in infrastructure than any government.
That's true.
The basic infrastructure for sports is stadium.
Absolutely.
The basic one, FIFA laws, the first law is pitch.
The pitch.
Right.
Knowing the fundamental importance. If you say you have invested so much than any government, and it is your time that we don't have a common pitch
To host.
so what kind of
Black Stars
infrastructure did you? So he should question them, the advice they gave, where the money went, where they sank that money, and what led to this embarrassment.
I agree with you.
We're live on GHOne TV, live also on Star FM here in Accra, and we are streaming as always on X. So if you're watching us, why not give us a repost and also a comment or two. We'll do a quick turn around or quick break. When we come back, I'll show you an interesting video. Like I've said, today, I don't know what is happening to this country, but so many bad things coming up this particular day. You just wait for us. We'll be back after this short turnaround. Director, let's see. Show us this particular video. Me, I won't say anything. Just show it. Let's get to hear everything for ourselves.
Ghana, now Uko Australia. Obetina aeroplane 18 hours. And Nukrano, Nipabi etumi di mechi ako. World Cup eba. Ayeba bebo afifufra ayeba be uremui. Ye bebo no ewa America. And no 7 hours spend away to America. Nanadom Semu pesemu manumu enko America no munko bobra na sike bi emrefia to abane mami uye bebuno ewa paso uye bebuno ewa desase uye bebuno ewa Newtown na upese utukwa me pious me be ye we pia me di ubetukwa me di ubetukwa me di ubeko na me no me ntise ampem na yamawa kwanya na wodi usako se udemrefem.
Okay, so that's Pius Enam Hajide, who is a former deputy minister for youth and sports, and currently is the director for the National Youth Authority, NYE, and they're the ones constructing the 10 centers, resource centers that have been built around the 10 regions in Ghana. The only one we are told is complete in Koforidua. The others are still not complete. They are housed at the Kaneshi Sports Complex. That complex in itself is currently in a mess. And you heard him speaking in the local language. All he said, if you don't understand Tree, was that he reminded them of the 2018 Commonwealth Games that was held in Gold Coast, Australia. And you recall then Ghana sent a number of people out there, including journalists, quite a huge number. And it became a big issue. Issues of visa racketeering and everything. It was a humiliation to this country. And indeed, he was penned as the one responsible for that. He was cleared by the president, Unaccounted back then. Today, the gentleman goes to stand in front of his people in Sudan. He's campaigning to become an MP. Campaigning to become an MP in this country. And you heard him say that he did it for those who were involved then in 2018. Now, next 2 years, Ghana will be going to the World Cup if we qualify, that is, for the World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. That vote for him to become the MP, and if you vote for him to become the MP, because he did it in 2018, he knows how to do it. He will ensure that the youth out there in Sudan, if you want to go travel and go hustle in the USA or wherever it is, he will take you along to go and hustle. Saddick, you heard a good friend on the political platform confirming that indeed some few years ago he was indeed a kingpin in that terrible story that hit Ghana those years, 2018 thereabout, and was eventually cleared by the president.
When I saw the quotes earlier this morning, I was hesitant, so I had to send him a message. He couldn't respond. Right. I thought that was one of the fake stories that's been fabricated to smear him because he had been involved in the Australia thing. But when I saw the video, Pius is a brother, I was very embarrassed. I had a lot of sessions with him during the Australia visa scandal. But when the committee was set and he was cleared, I was saying, oh, he's a young man, he needs another chance. But my disappointment is that some of us were very instrumental in the setup of the Commission of Inquiry. We called for it during those days. The reports, we called for the publication of the Commission of Inquiry, the white paper and everything. The report is still at the Ghana Publishing that you can buy and read. Okay. Even if the people who were involved, I still have a copy, who were involved in the Brazil scandal were not punished or jailed. Their images have been battered and bruised. That alone is a sort of punishment.
Absolutely.
My disappointment before this statement from Pius is that we know people who have been cleared. There was a committee set to investigate the Australia scandal. There was a committee set. The committee sat and brought a report. The president cleared a number of people who he says were not guilty of any offense. If people are not guilty, some are not guilty, some will be guilty.
Absolutely.
So who were the guilty parties? Because it is clear that people went to Australia. When they got to the border control, they said they were journalists. They asked them what is a recorder. They couldn't even tell what a recorder is. What is the work of a journalist? They couldn't. Some of them could not even put what radio station do you work for? They didn't know. So clearly, we sent people there. Now, if Pius has been cleared, who was responsible? Where is the report? As of today, from 2018, 6 years down the line, we don't know where that report is. And it is still with the president, which is very disappointing that we don't know who caused it.
Absolutely.
Pius goes to the ground again, my brother. Why will you do this?
People are everything.
Ghanaians are suffering going to Australia today. Ask them.
Yeah.
Because of the record there, the reputation, mixing football and go and set up employment employment opportunities for the people in your Sojaman. Why will you want them to go and clean lavatories in America if you think you are saying on record that when they go they should not come back, they should go and work. The embassies are listening.
So you are enticing and honestly
it's going
treating
to
the youth
affect you,
of Ghana to leave.
Monica. You are going to the embassy to apply for accreditation to go and watch, and they will say
they refuse me.
You will not come because your MP, who is supposed to create an enabling environment for you, say go. You may be a genuine journalist. We underrate some of these comments.
Absolutely.
Why will you say this in a public forum?
Can you imagine?
And I don't know, but
is it that when they are campaigning, everything just
there are so many things that have
just
happened that no proper accountability. Nobody is held responsible for any irresponsible statement, comment, insult, goofs. Nobody is held responsible. So we are tired. What do you say? I can call my brother and say you did not talk well. I can stand here and say, Pius, this thing that you have said will have huge implications on Ghanaians who are willingly and genuinely want to travel to US. And the embassies are listening. This thing is going viral.
Absolutely.
You are planning to pack people and send them to America on the guise of going to watch the World Cup. Meanwhile, you, the MP or incoming MP, wants them to run and go. This is the mentality that I don't think that anything will happen out of this. There are so many irresponsible comments on the campaign platform that I have become tired because you hear people who we call honorables. But like I said, these are people who we were in classrooms with. We know their standards, we know their capabilities. But once they come into public service,
unfortunately, time is not the best of our friend. We need to wrap up. So it's a wrap